All right. So today we are going to go over all of the different careers that we have already gone over here on Bare Bone Facts. So we have a couple of them right here. So if you just come over to the channel, we're going to dive right in. So we're going to go through every single one. We already have 14 different comparisons. We have the comparison right here between crane operator versus high school principal, streamer versus surgeon, pilot versus trucker, air traffic controller versus civil engineer, architect versus high-rise window washer. Man, that one would give me like a little queasy. I get the vertigo from that one. I don't know about you. Let me know in the comments if you would get vertigo from washing a big high-rise. Veteran versus underwater welder, veterinarian, sorry, veteran, very different thing. You could be a vet and you can be a vet, and it can be two very different things. Just two very, very different things. So then the next we have corporate lawyer versus oil rig roughneck. It's sweet. And then we have. Did I skip a line? I might have. Yeah, I skipped an entire line. I'm terrible. So high voltage tech versus software engineer, and then our middle line, which I skipped, AI prompt engineer versus electrician. This one I feel like is a toss. They're very similar. So cyber security versus elevator mechanic, lineman, which is somebody that puts up power lines and telephone lines, versus software engineer, McDonald's manager versus high school teacher, and MBA versus versus NFL, who gets paid more, an effective executive Chevier, I can't even say it, versus a marine biologist, chauffeur. I'm gonna say chauffeur. Say that 10 times fast, right? Okay, so what we're gonna do today is we're just gonna go through these videos one by one. I'm gonna go through them. You could go look in the order that they were released. This is the first one to the most recent, and if you go to most latest, you see that's the earliest one or the most recent. But let's go through popular. And what we're going to do is we're going to watch it together. We're going to have a little bit of fun watching it together real quick. And then we are going to put them into ChatGPT, and we're going to see if it can mix it up. And maybe the next video, the idea is that I will take some of these and I will pair them with something else. So we will take the top one, a couple out of these, and we'll come up with a couple ideas on things that we could do for that. So go ahead and let's just go ahead and watch the first one, and then take that over to ChatGPT and see if we can come up with some more ideas.
Right. Crane operator versus high school principal. Who earns more over 20 years? Both start at 18. The operator joins a union apprenticeship, getting paid to master the heavy iron with zero debt. The principal spends 6 years in university for a master's degree, graduating $80,000 in the red. By 23, the operator is certified on a tower crane, clearing $200,000 a year with overtime. Total earnings, $4.1 million. The principal teaches for a decade before finally reaching the front office, capped at $140,000. After student loan interest in the 6-year delay, they net just $2.9 million. That's a $1.2 million gap. While one is managing the classroom, the other is literally building the school. Crane operator versus...
All right, so that's the first one. So let's go ahead and grab... there we go. So crane operator versus high school principal. I'm going to come over here to ChatGPT. I'm going to paste that in. Let's go ahead and come up with our prompt real quick. To pick... And let's go ahead and say, so... It said the winner.
Office, capped at $140,000. After student loan interest in the 6-year delay, they net just $2.9 million. That's a $1.2 million gap. While one is managing the classroom, the other is literally building the school. Crane.
Yeah, building the school. Yeah, the crane operator. Like craftsman's jobs, let me tell you, man. Let me just pick. I'm going to list all of the careers some of these in new videos paired with new careers. There we go. So we got our first one right there. So now let's go ahead. So now we got our first one, crane operator. Let's go ahead and check out the second one. What are popular? So crane. Now the second one is streamer versus surgeon.
Streamer versus surgeon. Who wins after 15 years? Both start at 18. The streamer goes live day one, while the surgeon spends 13 years in undergrad, med school, and residency, graduating with $300,000 in student debt. While the surgeon is still earning $60,000 a year as a resident, the streamer hits 5,000 subs and clears $200,000 annually with sponsorships and donations. Over 15 years, the streamer banks about $2.3 million. The surgeon, just $700,000 after interest and loan payments. That's a $1.6 million gap. One spends a decade in the library, the other builds an empire in the chat. Streamer versus surgeon. Who wins after...
All right, so obviously the streamer is favored in this example, so I'm going to hit description. I'm going to grab that. But, I mean, like, it's crazy how... I think long-term, a surgeon might be a better pick, but in all honesty. But short-term, I think the streamer is a quicker route to income, as long as you... Like, whether you're a surgeon or a streamer, if you're not investing your money, then, you know, you're not making any money. Okay. Popular. All right, we got pilot versus trucker.
Commercial pilot, crane operator versus high school principal.
What happened there?
What
happened there?
Commercial pilot versus air traffic controller versus civil...
It kept on glitching on me. Don't glitch on me.
Commercial pilot versus long-haul trucker. Who earns more over 20 years? Both start at 18. The trucker gets their commercial driver's license or CDL in weeks and starts as an owner-operator. The pilot spends 2 years in flight school with zero income, graduating with $100,000 in debt. By 20, the trucker is netting $110,000 a year after expenses with zero debt. Total earnings, $2.1 million. The pilot starts at just $55,000 as a first officer, eventually reaching $150,000 as a senior captain. But after $120,000 in loan interest and years of missed wages, their total is only $1.7 million. That's $400,000 less than the trucker. Next time someone says they're chasing the clouds, remind them the guy hauling the freight is the one owning the view. Commercial...
Yeah, dog. All right, I'm going to grab that pilot versus trucker. Pilot versus trucker. Back over to ChatGPT. So that's 3 of them. So we have 14 videos. Let's got 11 more to check out. All right. Now we have air traffic controller versus civil engineer.
Air traffic controller versus civil engineer. Who earns more over 20 years? Both start at 18. The controller enters the FAA Academy, getting paid while they master the radar with zero debt. The engineer spends 5 years in university with no income, graduating with $60,000 in loans. By 23, the controller is certified and clearing $140,000 a year with federal benefits. Total earnings, $2.9 million. The engineer starts at $75,000, eventually reaching $120,000 as a lead. After student loan interest and that 5-year delay, they net only $2.1 million. That's an $800,000 gap. Next time someone says stay in school, remind them that while one is designing the runway, the other is already buying the plane. Air traffic control.
Nice. Let's grab that. So that's our 4th one, air traffic control. That's our 4th one. Now go on to the 5th one. Let's see. Okay, number five, which is, we're going, oh gosh. Somebody's talking to Alexa out there.
Architect versus air traffic controller
Oh,
versus civil engineer. Who?
All right, let's make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Popular. Architect versus high-rise window washer. This is the one that would like give me the weed.
Architect versus high-rise window washer. Who wins after 20 years? Both start at 18. The washer takes on-the-job training, clearing $82,000 a year in hazard pay with zero debt. The architect hits university for 6 years, graduating $80,000 in the red. By 24, the washer has already banked $400,000. The architect just landing an internship. At 30, the architect finally reaches a 6-figure salary, but loses thousands every year to student loan interest and that 6-year late start. After 20 years, the window washer nets $1.7 million. The architect, only $1.25. That's a $450,000 gap. One is designing the vision. The other is getting paid to enjoy the view. Architect.
All right. Architect versus window washer. Let's copy that one over. Boom. All right. check out the next one. Veteran versus underwater welder.
Veterinary. Crane operator versus high school principal.
Veterinarian. Again, not the difference between a vet and a vet.
Architect versus high-rise. Veterinarian versus underwater welder. Who earns more over 15 years? Both start at 18. The welder joins a diving academy, gets certified in months, and starts pulling massive danger pay in the abyss. The veterinarian spends 8 years in school, graduating with a crushing $250,000 in student debt. By 22, the welder is clearing $130,000 on deep-sea rigs with overtime. Total earnings, $2.2 million. The vet doesn't start earning until 26. Even at a top salary of $160,000, student loan interest drains $300,000, leaving them with just $1.2 million in net wealth. That's a full $1 million gap. Next time someone tells you to follow your passion for animals, remind them that the guy fixing pipes at the bottom of the ocean is the one buying the ranch. Veterinarian.
All right. So that is our fifth one. Veterinarian, not a vet, not a military vet. I don't want to get those confused. Those are different things. Those are different things. Okay, now we got AI prompt engineer versus electrician.
AI crane operator versus high school principal.
That's not what I clicked. That's not what I clicked, YouTube.
Crane operator versus high school principal. Who earns more over 20 years? Both start at 18. The
not even on the screen. What's the dealio? Come on.
AI crane operator, AI prompt engineer versus electrician. Who earns more over 20 years? Both start at 18. The electrician joins a union apprenticeship, earning $30 an hour while getting paid to learn. The tech expert spends 4 years in college with zero income, staring at code hallucinations and graduating with $60,000 in debt. By 22, the electrician is a journeyman making $110,000 a year with double time on holidays. Total earnings, $2.1 million. The AI expert starts at $95,000, eventually netting $1.8 million after $90,000 in loan interest and high-stress 60-hour weeks. That's $300,000 less than the electrician. Next time someone says code for the future, remind them the guy fixing the wires is the only reason the bots have power. AI prompt.
Sorry, I got a little distracted because I got a message on my phone letting me know that the personal loan that I don't even remember applying for has been approved, and that I just need to follow up with this phone number that I've never heard of, and they'll send me all the monies if I just follow up with the loan that I didn't even remember applying for. Yeah, it's gonna be great. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if I'll remember to reply to him. Kind of a, rude, but, I'm whatever.
Crane operator versus cybersecurity versus elevator mechanic. Who earns more over 20 years? Both start at 18. The mechanic joins a union apprenticeship, earning while they learn. The tech expert spends 4 years in college with zero income, graduating with $55,000 in debt. By 22, the mechanic is a journeyman making $110,000 a year with overtime and holiday pay. Total earnings, $2.1 million. The expert starts at $85,000, climbing to $165,000, but after loan interest drains $90,000, they net $1.8 million. That's $300,000 less than the mechanic. Next time someone says learn to code, remind them the guy fixing the lift is the only one actually moving up. Cybersecurity versus...
Right. That one was good. Remind them the one fixing the lift is the only one moving up. Listen to them facts. Paste. All right. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them so far. We have 6 to go. Let's get those other 6 and see what the A-Izzle tells us to do next. All right. Lineman versus software engineer.
Crane operator versus high school. Lineman versus software developer. Who wins after 20 years? Both start at 18. The lineman takes a paid apprenticeship, earning $70,000 a year with zero debt. The developer goes to university for 4 years, graduating $80,000 in the red. By 22, the lineman has already banked $300,000. The developer just getting started. At 30, the lineman hits storm season overtime, clearing $215,000. The developer earns $145,000, but bleeds cash to student loan interest. After 20 years, the lineman nets $3.8 million. The developer trails at $2.7. That's a $1.1 million gap. One is debugging code, the other is keeping the world on. Lineman versus
All right, let's grab that information. Boom, 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 boom. All right, that's our 9th one. Let's go check out the next one. McDonald's manager versus high school teacher. I want to know.
high school NBA versus NFL. High school teacher versus McDonald's manager. Who wins after 20 years? Both start at 18. The manager starts working day one, hitting $70,000 a year with overtime and bonuses. The teacher spends 4 years in school with no income and graduates with $60,000 in student debt. By 22, the manager has already banked $280,000. The teacher just landing their first classroom. Even with raises, the teacher only works 16 of those 20 years. After student loan interest and payments drain nearly $100,000, the teacher's total comes to $1.1 million. The manager, $1.4 million. That's a $300,000 gap. One is teaching the lesson, the other is banking the profit. High school
One's teaching the lesson, the other one's banking the profit. You hear that? Ooh, I'd rather bank the profit and then, take the class for fun, or whatever. All right. Boom. Now we go NBA versus NFL.
NBA versus...
It's all being glitchy on me. It's all being glitchy.
NBA versus NFL. Who makes more money over a 10-year career if both get drafted right out of college? The NFL player signs a 4-year, $12 million deal as an average pick. But the average NFL career is only about 3 years. Even if he beats that and plays 6 seasons, he's likely earning around $18 to $25 million. And here's the catch. Most NFL contracts aren't fully guaranteed. One bad injury and you can get cut and the money can disappear. Now, the NBA player signs a 4-year, $15 million rookie contract. The average NBA career is about 5 years, and the money is guaranteed, meaning every dollar is locked in. Make it to 8 years in the NBA, and you're looking at roughly $40 to $60 million, about $20 million more than the NFL player. So when someone says football is king, remind them which league actually pays like royalty. NBA.
All right. Which league pays like royalty? Boom. All right, executive chauffeur versus marine biologist.
Stops. Crane operator versus air commercial pilot. Streamer versus surgeon. Who wins after 50?
Doesn't want to listen to me. No.
Stop studying the ocean and start driving the people who own it. There's $1 million secret university recruiters are terrified you'll find out. Executive chauffeur versus marine biologist. Who wins after 20 years? Both start at 18. The driver gets certified in weeks, earning while they learn with zero debt. The biologist spends 6 years in school, graduating $90,000 in the red. By 22, the driver has banked $400,000. The biologist, zero. After 20 years, the chauffeur nets $3.6 million. The biologist trails at 2.2. That's a $1.4 million gap. One is protecting the reef, the other is driving the owners. Stop studying the ocean and start
All right. Description. Let's grab that. We have 2 more. Corporate lawyer versus oil rig roughneck.
corporate crane operator versus air traffic.
Doesn't want to go. All right, let's try it again.
Air traffic architect versus high-rise window washer. Who wins after?
He really doesn't want to play that one, huh?
Corporate air traffic architect versus air traffic commercial air architect veterinarian.
It really doesn't want to do it, huh?
Corporate lawyer versus oil rig roughneck. Who's richer after 20 years? Both start at 18. The lawyer grinds through 7 years of school, graduating $150,000 in the red. The roughneck hits the rig day one, clearing $70,000 with zero debt. By 25, the lawyer finally lands a desk for $200,000, but they're bleeding cash to student loan interest in 7 years of missed wages. The roughneck is already a derrick hand, netting $120,000 with hazard pay and a massive head start. After 20 years, the lawyer nets $4.1 million, but the roughneck clears $4.3 million because he never paid a dime in tuition. That's a $200,000 lead for the guy in the hard hat. Next time they say, go to law school, remind them the guy covered in mud is the one buying the beach house. Corporate.
All right, let's grab this one. And the next one is actually a kind of like a rehash. So I'm not going to add it on, but we'll watch it, you know. But I'm going to paste that in, but we'll watch the next one. Just
corporate lawyer, stop coding for the future and start powering it. There's $1 million secret university recruiters are terrified you'll find out. High voltage technician versus software developer. Who wins after 20 years? Both start at 18. The tech earns while they learn with zero debt. The developer spends 4 years in school, graduating $80,000 in the red. By 22, the tech has already banked $300,000. The developer, zero. After 20 years, the technician nets $3.8 million. The developer trails at 2.7. That's a $1.1 million gap. One is debugging code. The other is powering the world. Stop.
All right, that one is kind of like a similar positions as ones that I've done before, so I'm gonna skip out on that one. So, but we got all of these ones. So, so I am going to let's use some of these as new pairs. So, how about pair each one with each job with a new job. All right, there we go. Let's see what it's going to give us. So now I can just as easily just find out some other things to compare. Fresh pairing for each job, new opportunities. Crane operator versus corporate accountant. High school principal versus police sergeant. Streamer versus air traffic control. Surgeon versus airline pilot. Pilot versus anesthesiologist. Ooh, the word. Trucker versus power lineman. Air traffic controller versus underwater welder, civil engineer versus union electrician, architect versus software engineer, highway water washer versus oil rig roughneck, veterinarian versus cybersecurity analyst, underwater welder, I gotta breathe, versus elevator mechanic, AI prompt engineer versus UX designer, electrician versus radiologist. Was it radiologist technician? That's X-ray tech. See, I'm not going to speak right. You know, that's why I use the AI voice. Cybersecurity versus commercial plumber, elevator mechanic versus data center technician, lineman versus firefighter, software engineer versus construction project manager, McDonald's manager versus HVAC technician. Wow, there's a lot of them, so there's only a couple more. Was it high school teacher versus flight attendant, NBA versus UFC fighter, NFL versus MLB player, executive chauffeur versus real estate agent, marine biologist versus park ranger, and corporate lawyer versus dental hygienist, oil rig roughneck versus commercial driver. So we got plenty of different options to continue making some more comparison videos showing the comparison of two different careers. So there we go. So go ahead and check out these videos on here and let me know if there's some other careers that you want compared. Let me know in the comments, and make sure that you like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you see more of these comparisons videos. All right, take care, guys.